Today, let's talk about something that may feel a little personal, but is actually one of the most important conversations that you can have before listing your home for sale. The difference between how we live in our homes and how we sell them. Certain design choices, decor choices, or maintenance habits might work beautifully for your own lifestyle. But when it comes time to hit the market, those same things can unintentionally send the wrong message to buyers. Even if you've taken excellent care of your home, details that seem small to you might make a buyer feel like the house is dated, maybe too personalized, or even cheap. I know that the last word stings, but perception is powerful, and in real estate, perception directly affects the bottom line. So if you're looking to sell quickly and for top dollars, you want to reduce friction. That means addressing anything that might make a buyer pause, hesitate, or mentally start subtracting from their offer price. The good news? Many of the most effective changes are cost-effective, fast, and surprisingly impactful. So here are 6 key areas to look at and how to turn them into opportunities to impress. You've built a home that works for you. Maybe that includes cozy nooks, shelves full of books, or a curated collection of furniture passed down through the generations in your family. But when selling, all that personalization can actually work against you. Too much furniture, maybe too many accessories, or overly full shelves and counters can make even a spacious home feel tight and visually overwhelming. Buyers aren't just judging the space, they're trying to imagine their own lives living in there. And clutter and things that are a little too personal makes that whole experience much harder. Start the decluttering process as soon as you know that you're planning on selling. Create 3 categories: keep, donate and sell, and store. What you're keeping should fit comfortably in the space, and what's staying should feel intentional. And don't just shove everything into a closet or stuff it into the garage, because buyers will open those things too. A few bins in the garage are fine, but an off-site storage is even much better. So ask your agent for help walking the space and suggesting what should stay and what should go. A few changes to furniture layout can also dramatically improve flow and make the rooms feel bigger. So your bold color choices are fantastic for personal expression, but when selling, they can become a psychological barrier for the buyers. A vibrant accent wall, maybe a jewel tone bathroom, or a mismatched room color can feel like work to the buyer. So even if repainting is simple of a fix, it becomes another task in the buyer's mind. And buyers always overestimate the time and the cost of every little fix, which means more money out of your pocket, because you can do it a lot cheaper than how much they want to discount for the amount of effort that they're going to put into it. So if your paint is more than a couple of years old, or maybe leans into stronger colors, consider repainting key rooms in warm, neutral tones. Soft grays, beiges, and creamy whites make spaces feel bright, clean, and cohesive. Not everything needs to match, but adjacent rooms should feel at least like they belong in the same house. Use the same paint sheen throughout. Usually eggshell or satin is a safe bet for walls. And touch up trims and doors where you may have had scuffs or maybe chips that show. And don't forget the ceilings. And for some reason, everybody seems to forget the ceiling. Dingy ceilings can drag down an otherwise fresh room and look. A dimly lit space doesn't just look smaller, it feels older, a bit neglected, and even less welcoming. One of the most overlooked factors in creating an environment that's inviting, especially when you're trying to sell a home, is your specific choice of lighting. I'm not talking just about fixtures, but the bulbs themselves. You'll be surprised, but many homeowners still use traditional incandescent bulbs or outdated compact fluorescent light bulbs without realizing how much these bulbs date their homes. Incandescent bulbs, while warm in tone, are energy hogs and tend to cast a yellow, murky light that can feel kind of heavy and outdated. And on the flip side, many CFLs, especially the cool tone daylight varieties, they can flood a room with harsh, sterile, bright white light that feels more like an office hallway or a hospital rather than a cozy home. Upgrade to modern, warm white LED bulbs in the 3500 to 4000K range. Think of this as the lighting equivalent of a natural sunlight on a late afternoon. So it's soft, flattering, and makes everything look a little bit more vibrant. And LEDs run cooler, they also last longer and can save energy. So you're not just improving aesthetics, you're boosting energy efficiency. Next, layer your lighting like a well-balanced outfit. So the overhead lighting is your foundation, but it's the lamps that add texture and charm. Use floor lamps and table lamps to brighten up corners and entryways and bathrooms as well. Dim lighting in these sort of areas can make even the cleanest home feel neglected and drab. Take a moment to clean out or dust lighting fixtures and clean fans. You know, those small details really matter. Yellow domes or dusty bulbs cast a tired yellow glow that buyers subconsciously associate with deferred maintenance. And obviously you want to stay away from that. If any fixture screams 1995, it's worth swapping them out for simple modern pieces. You don't need to get a designer lighting, but you do need something that's current and clean that people see on HCTV or social media. That's the goal. So here's a pro tip. Always open curtains and blinds before showings, even if the views aren't that spectacular. Natural light is one of the top features that buyers value and seek out. So think of it like framing a photo. Light is everything. So you want the home to feel bright, breathable, and emotionally open from the moment that someone walks right in. It's easy to get used to a mixture of old and new. So one bathroom has brushed nickel, another one has brass, and maybe a few ceiling fans from the 1990s are still hanging around. You see it as character, but buyers may see it as inconsistency or a cheap owner who refuses to spend any money on this house. So choose one finish per room, or ideally throughout the whole house, and stick to it. Updating cabinet handles, drawer pulls, and faucets is a surprisingly affordable and simple manner. And these details have a big visual impact. So check big box stores or Amazon for modern neutral hardware. Matte black and brushed nickels are both great ideas. Even small swaps like matching towel bars and toilet paper holders in the bathrooms contribute to a more polished and cohesive look, and more importantly, an intentional look. So here's another pro tip. Replace yellow switch plates and outlet covers wherever you see them. They're cheap and make a much greater difference and impact than you can imagine. And I have a simple rule of thumb that I live by, and that is everything that a buyer touches should feel and or be new. It's a cheap but psychologically important connecting experience for the buyers. The cost will, far outweigh the psychological impact that it provides. It's interesting. Buyers rarely notice the flawless parts of a home, but they do zero in on all the flaws. A scuffed wall, peeling paint, sticky doors, or cracked tiles become a talking point that chips away at their feeling of move-in ready. Even small cosmetic issues get tallied up in their mental lists of things that they'll have to do to fix, right? And those perceived costs often translates into much lower offers. Sellers tend to underestimate the potential impact and the costs of deferred maintenance, while buyers tend to overestimate the impact and value associated with the same items. So if you're in Silicon Valley, it's customary to do home inspections to provide to the buyers. So doing some sort of a pre-inspection repair of items list that you know that have issues is a great way to eliminate potential flaws that buyers may see during their walkthroughs. So walk through your home slowly and critically, or better yet, with someone who hasn't seen it in a while. Then make a punch list of everything that stands out. Things like chipped paint, loose handles, squeaky hinges, carpet stains, worn out weather stripping, all of those kind of things. Start knocking them off the list, and even if they're the minor ones. So if you have pets, focus in on scratched woodworks or lingering odors. A deep clean, a few tubes of caulk, and some elbow grease can go a long way towards improving first impressions. Eliminate everything that a home inspector will obviously find, so that you don't have to put that in, or he doesn't have to put that into the report. So buyers form an opinion within seconds of pulling up to a house, and that opinion follows them throughout the front door. So if the outside looks neglected, they start looking for flaws inside the house too. They start their home viewing journey with a negative perception in their minds before setting foot in the doorway. So this is exactly the wrong way for them to start off. Listen, you don't need a full landscape overhaul, but you do need a tidy, welcoming front entry. So mow the lawn, edge the walkway, and pull weeds if necessary, and mulch where needed. Power washing the porch and maybe the siding wall if it looks dingy. Paint the front door if it's scuffed or faded due to sun damage. These things are going to be one of the best ROI improvements that you can make. Add a new doormat, a couple of planters with fresh flowers, and make sure that your house numbers and porch lights look clean and pristine. Bonus points if the mailbox isn't rusty and the driveway is free of oil stains or cracks. Preparing your home for sale is all about shifting perspectives from personal comfort to market appeal. You don't have to strip away everything that makes your space and your home unique, but you do want to present a fresh, clean, and well-maintained home that helps buyers imagine their own lives living there. Remember, you're not selling to yourself. You want to sell to the demographics of someone who would most likely buy your home. So thoughtful updates and a few strategic fixes can completely reshape how your home is perceived, and more importantly, how it will perform on the market based on the perceptions that you can impart. So, need help figuring out where to start? So if you're in the Bay Area, let's schedule a walkthrough, or if you're elsewhere, drop a note in the comments and I'll try to help out. I'm happy to help you make a game plan that fits your timeline and priorities, whether that means you're moving next month or selling next year. Well, thanks for stopping by today, and I hope that you picked up something that was useful for you to take with you today. And that's why I make these videos. So I hope you had a good time, and I hope to catch you in the next video.